excuse my ratchetness, but I just felt so compelled to go on here and kind of talk to you guys for a second. So as you all know, I stated in my last video that I went to get mental help, and I did. And so I kind of wanted to go over like kind of what my counselor kind of taught me for the most part. Um, so I used to have anxiety like really bad, you know. Um, the reason why my anxiety was really bad is because, first of all, it's like okay, so from when I was 5 years old, I had a semi-abusive stepdad. Um, and I kind of lived in a world of dysfunction, you know. I'm not pinpointing that any of that is anybody's responsible for that, but I lived in a world of dysfunction. I remember that I hated my stepdad so much that I ended up leaving the house and staying with my aunt and uncle until I ended up finding a job back in Houston, and then I came back to Houston because I couldn't find anything in San Antonio, right? When I was in San Antonio, I kind of went on a spiritual journey, you know. My aunt and uncle had me in church. They had me praying. They had me worshiping. They had me doing all types of things that I wasn't necessarily doing in my hometown. So I just went through a lot of different abuses growing up. You know, I don't want to get into every single abuse, but one of my significant ones was my stepdad. And then I also started having problems like in work too. Like I was always like with managers and stuff. There was always sometimes just someone who just like hated me or just didn't like me a lot. And just evil people, you know. And I've encountered a lot of them. I've had 21 different jobs my whole entire life, and I'm only 28. So you can only start working when you're 14 or whatever. So it's like, imagine, you know what I mean? I've met all types of different personalities. And also I went to 10 different schools, but it's because I stayed in San Antonio. Then I moved to Houston, and I went to okay, I'm trying to think, you guys. It don't matter. Okay, it don't matter. But I went to a lot of freaking schools in Houston as well. So it's like I traveled a lot. I mean, not a lot, but I did move around a lot. So I met all types of different people. I stayed in the hood at one point where I was kind of bullied because I talked white. And then I also had like kind of like the abusive thing going on with my stepdad. Then, you know, it went to when I was working in jobs. Then it went to I ended up getting married, and my mother-in-law was like that. Then it was like after that it transferred to a manager, and it just like these evil people just kept on coming into my life, and you know, whatever. So I realized that the world's not a great place, and I ended up like, you know, just trying to find someone that I can really confide in, and I never found that. I searched and searched and searched. There was just so much disappointment. I can say that some people who have maybe caused some turmoil to my life, have also supplied great knowledge and great wisdom. You know, they always say that sometimes people come in your life for a season, reason, and lifetime. So I feel like sometimes these evil people that come into your life and destroy stuff and make you feel horrible, I feel like sometimes they're meant to be in your life. Maybe they're there for a specific purpose or a reason, or to teach you a lesson. And I've caught that throughout my life as well, is that, you know, some people are just evil. And I mean, we can't control the evils of this world. All we can really control is ourselves. So anyways, I went to counseling because I, at this point, you know, I had dealt with someone who was stalking me, and I just felt fearful for my life. I felt attacked. I felt like I did not feel comfortable. You know, I have all these enemies, people who just hate me for God knows what, because I'm not an evil person. They're just not great people, you know. I don't know what else to say, but in life you're gonna encounter that some people are just not great people, and I feel like more so than not, there's more bad people than there is good people, unfortunately. But that's what it's starting to come down to, that a lot of people have a lot of mental disorders and mental issues that causes them to act erratic and to treat people bad. But anyways, so I go to my counselor and I kind of explain everything to her, and I'm sad, you know. I've been molested and I've been hurt and abused and stalked and just, you know, treated like God knows what, you know. And my counselor actually told me like that I needed to start writing down how I feel about stuff, you know. So I went to, where's this book? I want to show y'all. I actually went to Five and Below and I purchased it's called A Year of Gratitude, right? And in the book, I'm not going to show y'all really what I wrote because it's none of your business. But in the book, this is like all the stuff I wrote. But in the book, it has like days and it has like what your goals, what your whatever, all the days. So what I started doing because I was so anxious is I started writing down each day, kind of like, today I was annoyed because of this. And I would put like a sticker, like happy, sad, mad, whatever the case, you know, a sticker next to the day. And I would always put like, because it asks you, you know, mindful, what's your mindful moments? What do you need to do? What are you looking forward to do? What do you love to do? And then throughout the week, I kind of, you know, everyone can handle the book differently. You know, of course, you can put your schedule, whatever you want to do. But I put every day, I would write in it like how I was feeling and why I was feeling that way, and just trying to map out my emotions and my feelings. And I did that. So like every emotion, every feeling was like mapped out and a sticky face. And I started going through there. And when I first started writing in this book, it's like I had anxiety every day. Like I'm looking at it, it was like every day it was just like, you know. Then I started kind of realizing like, wait, why am I mad? Why am I feeling this way? What is causing this feeling? What is causing that feeling? And then over time, I started to see, I'm not going to show y'all, but I started to see more kissy faces, more happy faces, more like joyful faces, you know, just by getting down to the root of what my issue was, you know. And it's not easy. It was definitely something that I had to, when I'm feeling anxious or annoyed or whatever the case is, depressed, I had to sit there in that moment and acknowledge that I feel depressed, I feel lonely, I feel this, and I feel this way because of this, you know, kind of like digesting my issue. And I'm like, okay, so what can I do to fix this? Why do I feel this way? Is this feeling legit? Is this feeling going to get me to my future goals? Or is this going to keep me from moving forward? And in that moment, I kind of had to decide if this thing is something that's worth getting worked up over and being so exhausted all day, or is it something worth you know, acknowledging my feelings, getting through it, and then like letting it go. And so I found that just kind of acknowledging my feelings, getting through it, trying to find a solution, and letting it go actually helped me a lot. And I was able to rewire my anxious brain. So this book kind of talks a little bit about like how you can help your anxieties. I guess if you don't feel like seeing a psychologist or you can't, you can always, it's always good to get through your anxieties, get through your triggers, figure out how to fix them. And then it's also good to overcome hurts and angers and pains to get through those things. So you don't have to get these specific books, you guys, but you need to do self-help. You need to do the healing process. The healing process is not easy. It is hard, and it takes a lot of work with yourself. Every day I had to sit there and think, is this thought going to get me towards my goal, or is this thought going to hinder me from my goal? And from that moment on, I started to kind of have more chill days, be happier. I started to communicate my thoughts better to people. I started to not let people talk to me crazy, you know, not let people who are causing me these issues and this anxiety and these, you know, whatever, all the stress when I'm around them. I had to let those people go, you know. I felt compelled to put myself on a schedule, to have myself busy, to do things productive, to in the time where I'm thinking about certain things, to of course acknowledge it. Always acknowledge what your issue is, why you're feeling that way. Acknowledge it to yourself. Then you have to sit down and really think and do the dirty process to figure out, like, is this thought gonna help me or is it going to fuck things up? You have to constantly tell yourself that. But once you get through that process and you continue to tell yourself what the issues are and getting past it, you can move forward. So through my healing process, I started to realize what people were causing anxieties from me. And I started to slowly let them go. So all the friends that I had 2 years ago, I do not have all those friends anymore. At this point, I probably only talk to about three people who are the closest to me, and that's literally it. But you don't have to have all the friends in the world to be successful, to be mentally stable, to be emotionally stable. You need the people in your life that's going to cause the most fulfillment for you mentally to help you move forward. You need people who are going to be honest with you and tell you, like, hey, you need to relax. Like, that's not, a bad thing. It's okay. You have to have friends that are going to acknowledge that that's a problem, that you shouldn't think that way, that you shouldn't act that way. And I'm not saying a narcissist, okay? I'm not saying someone that's manipulating you and trying to control you. I'm saying someone who genuinely, if you ask them, hey, am I acting a little erratic right now? And they're able to say, I love you, and I think that you're a great person, but you are maybe acting just a tad bit erratic. Everything's not out to get you. I had to realize, you guys, that I needed to do the dirty work. And I'm not done. But I can say is that every day I'm not constantly like, I'm mad about this, I'm anxious about this, I'm upset about this. Like, I'm starting to really be grateful for life and to write down. I have another journal over there. This says I'm a dreamer. They say I'm a dreamer, and inside of it, I just write everything I'm grateful for, everything that I'm grateful for. And that's also a technique. When you're so upset about things in the moment and you can't relax yourself, go for a run, go for a jog, give yourself some time, come back to it. Maybe write down stuff that you're grateful for. Write things that make you happy. Always acknowledge your emotions, because if you don't, they're going to come out in different ways. But always try to alleviate those emotions, especially if they're trauma inducing or stress inducing. You want to kind of alleviate those emotions and get through them. I'm not perfect. I'm still in the process of healing, and I feel completely grateful and blessed that I've had the opportunities that I have, and I feel like I'm good, like I'm getting better every day. Every day is a work in progress. Every day is a learning process. And I'm learning that certain people can't be in your life as well. Those people have to go. Of course, some people might, provide benefits for you, but in the long run, if they're mentally draining you mentally, you know what I mean? Like, you need to get away from that. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes it's not worth your sanity. When you deal with someone who has, like my stepdad, he has bipolar disorder. His kids can't deal with him. And the reason why is because it causes them a lot of turmoil. It causes them a lot of stress and anxiety, a lot of sadness, a lot of hopelessness. So they have to love him from a distance. They have to say, hey, Dad, I love you, but I'm going to live my life in a peaceful, induced area. We can't help somebody that doesn't want to be helped. We can't help somebody who's going through those mental issues. They have to do the hard part for themselves, within themselves. It's their inner turmoil. So a lot of times they have to do that part. They have to want to get better. They have to take the steps they need to necessary to fix those issues. And then if not, like my sister and them, they're like, hey, deuces, like, hey, we love you. We're going to be in a happy, stable environment over here where we feel good. We're not going to continue to mope and be dismissed in this area. So that's what you got to do for your life. If you feel like you're not being treated right, or you feel like certain people cause you anxieties, then you owe yourself the duty to leave, regardless of how much you love them. You can love some from a distance and never see them again. And that's the dead honest truth, you guys. So I know I look messy as hell, fucked up. Like, I'm just not. I was just literally, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. But I was like, let me talk about this, because I actually felt like it's something that is beneficial for you guys. I might even leave more links about things that I've learned in my counseling sessions that can maybe overall help you guys. But I feel good. I feel peaceful. I feel great. I just look bad because it's like 2 o'clock in the morning. So anyways, you guys, y'all have a wonderful day. Keep on doing good. Keep on progressing. Keep doing the hard work for yourself because it will pay off. I love you guys. Bye.